Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for January 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I'll be using my Morgan Greer Tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. And then I will close out your reading, Sagittarius, with a Threads of Fate Oracle card. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. It's a new month. It's a new year. I'm excited for you, Sagittarius. I guess we'll see what that's all about as your cards start coming out here. So what do we need to know for the sign of Sagittarius as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity? Felt like this one wanted to come over. And abundance for the month of January 2021. All right, Sagittarius, your hard work is about to pay off, okay? I just want you to know your hard work is definitely about to pay off. The only thing is you're going to have to make some decisions when it finally pays off for you, okay? So, as we move into this new month, the first week of January, like I said, the hard work is going to pay off. Now we have the Seven of Cups here. The Seven of Cups is all about options, choices, things being presented to you and you having to decide which direction you want to go. Now, as this relates to your money, to your work, to your wealth, to your career, business, whatever, you're going to have a lot of options. You know, the hard work that you've been doing is creating probably more opportunities for you than you can handle right now. You know, that's the thing about this Seven of Cups is that it talks about multiple options, but sometimes it could be a little bit overwhelming. You know, it's like a good problem to have. You know, you'd rather have too many choices than none. At least that's how I see it. So, you know, while your hard work is definitely turning things around for you in a very good, profitable, abundant, prosperous way, you have to be careful that you don't take on too much because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. And the other thing is that you don't want to have so many choices that you miss out on the ones that are meaningful for you, that you miss out on the ones that you truly want to pursue or you truly want to explore, okay? Next, we have the Nine of Wands here. Now, the Nine of Wands, this is a card about being seen. This is also a card about sometimes walking away, and people notice that. It's like making the conscious decision sometimes to leave a situation, or it's also about making a decision where it's like you see limitations and so you're going to go ahead and create another option for yourself. You know, I know this is kind of all over the place, but that's really what I'm getting with this card. And, you know, depending on who you are, where you are, how this resonates for you, you're going to have to decide which one of these circumstances applies, because I feel like some of you are going to be walking away from something because you're just going to be creating your own way. You also are, you know, not going to tolerate anything that's not in alignment with where you want to go and what you want to accomplish. Now, as this relates to your money, people are going to see it as you being defiant. But that's not really what this is about. This is about you doing what's best for you, and however they want to interpret it is how they're going to interpret it, because you can't control that. But I do see you making some type of an exit or some type of a move that benefits you financially, okay? Could be leaving a job. I'm not picking that up per se with this, but I am feeling like maybe you decide to not work on a project, or maybe not do a particular investment, or maybe not pursue a certain business or opportunity or something like that. Next, this is what we talked about. There's a choice you have to make, Sagittarius. Now, Because you have so many opportunities coming up in January, so many things, so many options that you can do, it's going to be tough for you to decide exactly which one you're going to pursue and which one is going to work best for you, okay? Because it's like I'm getting the sense that all of these things that are showing up are exciting, but they're exciting for you in different ways. It's not because you know you can't or you're not capable of doing everything, but at the same time it's like, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? You know, this, I can travel with this, but then I can make more money with this. It's kind of like one of those things. But just remember, when you say yes to something, there is going to be something that you're going to have to say no to. And it may not necessarily be something you want to say no to, but it's just kind of the nature of the circumstance that you're in. Next, we have the Three of Pentacles here. Now, the Three of Pentacles, because this is in the reverse, this tells me that you're going to be doing a lot of work by yourself. You're going to be working independently. You're going to be working kind of in your own way, doing your own thing, kind of working, you know, to your own rhythm, having your own workflow. This means that you're not going to be working with groups of people. You're really going to find satisfaction, joy, and probably more money doing your own thing, working independently. Okay, so for those of you who maybe might be considering, you know, starting a business, maybe you do want to go out on your own. But again, you're going to have to really make the decision. Is that what I want right now? And is the timing of this good right now? Next, we have the Hierophant here. This is you going against the grain, kind of making up your own rules along the way. The Hierophant talks about doing things kind of off book, doing things off script, right? It's like you know how you're supposed to do things, but maybe you have some, what's that word? Ingenuity. You know, maybe you have the creativity to come up with something totally different. It accomplishes the same goal, but you're doing it in a different way. Doing it maybe in a way that nobody's thought of. Maybe you're creating a new source of income for yourself that nobody noticed was even possible. You know, there's all kinds of ways that this can help you and that this can benefit you. All right, so just know the potential is there. Sometimes it just takes a little creativity. All right, Sagittarius. So your first week of January is really all about choices and what it is that you decide to do in order to, you know, increase your money or increase your abundance. All right, so what else do we need to know? For the sign of Sagittarius, as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of January 2021. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. Well, you've got some really beautiful cards here. You've got two of the most positive cards in the deck. You've got the Wish card, then you've got the Ten of Cups. You also got two tens, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups side by side. Then you have two nines here. You have Nine of Cups and the Nine of Swords side by side. Very interesting. Those are some power numbers we've got. But let's start here. Ten of Pentacles. Now, this is the card of collaborations, and sometimes partnerships, collabs, group work does not necessarily come together in the way that we thought. And that's what I'm kind of seeing with this one. Now, remember, we talked here about you working independently, doing your own thing, striking out on your own, kind of, you know, working to your own groove. It looks like that's going to definitely be something that you want to consider if it's possible. If it is possible for you to do that, it looks like it's going to pay off. Now, because we have this group thing here that may or may not work, or it may not bring in as much money or as much satisfaction as you had hoped, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a success. It just means that it's probably not a fit for you, Sagittarius, okay? I mean, you can still make money, you can still make friends, you can still have good, a good outcome, but it may not be something that you want to do long term. Now, as this relates to your work and to your money, it's giving you information and it's giving you feedback that you probably work best alone, or you probably work best with just one or two people as opposed to being in a group, okay? Next, we have the Ten of Cups here. This is the ultimate joy, happiness, contentment card. Very beautiful card. Even though it's in the reverse, it's still very positive in all of my readings. And the good thing about this card is that it just means happiness, joy, fulfillment, everything. All the good things are definitely coming your way. Now, it may not be the ultimate because it is in the reverse. It just means it's happening on a much smaller scale or to a much lesser degree. Now, it's still a good card for you to really look forward to and consider celebrating or whatever. It just means that whatever it is you're working towards, it is coming your way. It will, be delivered to you in some way, shape, or form. You just have to pay attention and you have to stay open. Now, when it comes to money, work, business, investments, prosperity, abundance, it's coming. It's already here. It's already starting to show up for you. Next, we have the King of Wands, or in this deck, it's called the King of Rods. This talks about some changes happening in the workplace. It also means, too, that someone is possibly, looking and watching you work. Like someone is, a higher up, like a manager, supervisor, something like that, is also paying attention to you. But when he shows up in the reverse, that means there's some kind of unexpected movement happening here. Could be, something as trivial as, a change in desk or a change in office space. Or it could even be something more significant where somebody is relocating, or maybe someone is transferring and going into a different position. So whatever the case may be, this is something I'm getting the sense that you need to pay attention to. But the good thing is that it's going to benefit you in some way, shape, or form, because we have the Wish card here. Now, I wouldn't be surprised that because we have the Wish card, if you've been wishing for a manager to quit, move on, get another job, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that does not happen for some of you, because that's what I'm clearly seeing here. Now, obviously, that's not going to apply to everybody, but when I see these two cards side by side, that's really what I'm getting here. It's like whatever you've been wishing for, like I said, if you've been wishing a manager away because he's just been pure hell to work with, looks like that could happen at this time. Next, we have the Nine of Swords here. The Nine of Swords talks about self-limitations. However, you're breaking through, you're breaking free. Really pay attention to what you want to do and honor your own desires, Sagittarius, okay? Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. The only limitations are the ones that you allow to develop in your mind. This is really about breaking free of that, right? Using the swords to cut away at the things that are holding you back and the things that are preventing you from achieving the life that you want to create. And there's nothing that can hold you back. You have all the talent, all the beauty, all the skill, that you need. And it doesn't mean that you have all the answers, but you have access to the answers, okay? Whatever you don't know, you can learn or you can look up. So trust yourself. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of January 2021. Now, I thought I saw a card flip over in here. Maybe it was this? Okay. I guess that was it. Okay, so Now, it's interesting because I see a lot going on here. As this relates to your money, I'm going to do because I can already feel the sentence flowing, right? And I don't want to not deliver that because somebody needs to hear it. All right, so the High Priestess is telling me that you're not trusting your own intuition, your own inner guidance, and because of that, something doesn't start exactly as you want it to. The Ace of Wands here. Now, the Ace of Wands talks about growth and prosperity and movement and maturity, all right? But because you're not trusting yourself or you're not following that inner wisdom, something doesn't take off the way it's supposed to. Now, because of that, there is going to be some effect on your money. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a loss. It just means that you're not probably going to get that extra bonus or that extra lump of change that you were expecting. Now, we also have the Chariot here. The Chariot means that things start to slow down dramatically for you at this time. The Chariot talks about things not moving, sometimes things being really, really stagnant. Also, the other thing about the Chariot is that sometimes things happen and they move in a new direction. It's like you're on the course to go straight, but then something happens and now you're starting to go right. And that wasn't in the original plan, okay? So just pay attention to the direction that things are starting to flow. The good thing is that we have the moon in the reverse. And because of all this that's going on, the moon talks about things being revealed, things being exposed, things coming to light, okay? The moon is about things that were hidden that are now not hidden. Information coming out, information being exposed, things that you thought were true, now you realize those things were not true, okay? It's very interesting because I have a feeling, for those of us in the United States, I'm getting really heavy that this is going to be around inauguration time. And usually, that never makes its way into my readings. But for some reason, for you, Sagittarius, I'm feeling like that's going to be something significant for you. So let's just pay attention to that, right? I'm throwing it out there. It may or may not, resonate. It may or may not be significant. But because it is coming through, I do want to make sure I communicate it. Finally, we have the Two of Pentacles here. The Two of Pentacles talks about paying attention to the numbers, paying attention to our budgets, right? Make sure you check over your receipts, look over your invoice, double check, triple check all the numbers, your addition, whatever. It's just really about being diligent and meticulous about your money, paying attention to where every cent goes, making sure you're not overpaying on anything, making sure that you're getting the right amount of things back or whatever it is. Make sure, if you bought a dozen eggs, make sure you open the carton, make sure one of the eggs is not busted. It's that kind of thing. Just really, really paying attention to the numbers and making sure you're getting what you are entitled to get. Make sure you're getting what you paid for, okay? All right, Sagittarius. I'm feeling a glow. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like there's a glow, which means, light shining from within. All right, so let's see what else is showing up for you as we close out the month of January 2021 as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of January 2021. All right, as we close out the month of January, I see it. It's been coming up several times in your reading, Sag. The Hermit card. This is the card of the sojourner, the independent thinker, the person who does who goes within, who retreats. Sometimes even a recluse. This is the card of you really going within and doing your own thing. There's no doubt about it, Sagittarius. You are an independent thinker. You are someone who works best alone. You are someone who thrives in an environment where you are pretty much in control of everything, okay? This is definitely going to bring more to you, okay? Once you figure out a way to work with this part of your character, it's definitely going to open more doors for you. You know, find a job where you can work independently, or maybe start a business where you just kind of do everything on your own, because that's where you're going to thrive. That's where you're going to succeed. That's where you're going to find the answers that you're looking for. Now, this may not be a long-term thing. All of us go through phases and periods of our lives where things, you know, work for us in that season, and then we move on into something else. And I feel like this is the season for you, Sagittarius, to really work alone and figure out and get a lot of clarity about what it is you want to create, what it is you want to do in order to create the wealth and the income that you desire. Next, we have the Fool here. The Fool is talking about a brand new adventure, a brand new journey. I feel like this is going to also be a period of discovery, where you discover new and innovative ways to make more money, or to reduce your expenses, or to, you know, increase your opportunities. Whatever the case may be, there's definitely going to be a new direction that you're going, especially towards the end of the month. Finally, or I should say next, we have the Eight of Cups here. The Eight of Cups talks about you walking away from something with no regrets. Could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could just be a situation that no longer serves you. You don't have to explain, defend, justify, or, you know, feel bad, feel guilty. It's time for you to walk away from something, and in doing so, it's going to have a positive impact on your money. You know, it could be a draining relationship, it could be, you know, like I said, a job where you just don't make enough. Whatever it is, this is going to definitely be a positive influence on your money. Next, we have the Emperor here. The Emperor is all about control. Sometimes things can be a little bit too controlling when he shows up. His energy is very much the ruler, very much someone who wants to control every aspect of everything. Now, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. We have to find that balance. But the Emperor talks about that you do have the power and you do have the control to create the life you want, to create the money and the income that you want. You can do it, right? You're just going to have to probably take on a little bit of that Emperor energy, especially in the last week of January. Finally, we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands talks about sometimes feeling a little discouraged, sometimes feeling a little overwhelmed, or even frustrated. You know, the thing about the Nine of Wands, though, is that everyone goes through that. And I think I'm going to pull another card because I feel like there's more to it. And this is just kind of the start of it. What else do we need to know? Okay. This is a repeater card, remember. All right, so you're going to probably feel a little frustrated and a little, I don't know, just like you're ready to make some changes. The other thing about the Nine of Wands is that it talks about, it's like getting to the end of your rope, getting to the end, you know, it's like getting to the end of a cycle, because the number 9 is the number of completion. So the Nine of Wands talks about, it's like you're at the end. It's like you're done. You're ready to move on. You're ready to do something different. You just need to figure out what that will be. What is going to be your next move? And I see that very clearly because we have the Two of Swords here again. And that's a really heavy decision that you're going to have to make. So, you know, you may be feeling like it's time. And you're going to get confirmation that it's time to move on from something. The only thing is you have to make sure you're prepared. If you do quit a job, make sure you're prepared to quit. You know, don't do anything irrational. But at the same time, don't ignore the signs that tells you it's time to move on. It's time to let go, okay? Because not only will that kind of give you an emotional lift, it will give you a financial boost as well. All right, Sagittarius, you've got a very powerful month here. All right, January is going to be, it's going to be a lot going on, but you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You know, there's going to be a lot revealed to you throughout the month. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Threads of Fate Oracle card. And we got Shadow. Interesting. Shadow work. tapping into our dark side, you know. And now that I see this card, I do see how this can relate to certain parts of the reading here. You know, we all have that shadow side. We all, you know, have a dark side. We all have things that we probably would not share or necessarily reveal to other people. But these parts of us also make us who we are and allow us to kind of grow and tap into that energy in order to create more for ourselves, more money, more love, more joy, whatever. So let me know your thoughts. All right, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, drop them down below. And I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.